Welcome to the locker. We got a special edition, folks. What's going on, Ant?
Hey, man, we got an action-packed one today, man.
Yeah, man.
The reason I'm in Kentucky, man, that's going to be, it really ain't a secret because we done talked about it for the past couple of days, man. But I think people are going to enjoy it. The buzz on social media has been wanting to see what our guests look like and the rest of them joining us.
All right, man. Hey, I'm going to just tell y'all right now, people, I'm going to be looking down at my phone because we're going to have people text me all day. So I'm going to ask our guests in a minute. Special guest, man. It means a lot to all of us. It just so talk for a minute, Ant, why I hit these boys up.
All right, yeah. So we got a treat for y'all, man. We got the guy that brought me to the University of Kentucky. One of the, from what I hear around the city and from the people that follow our show and follow college football, University of Kentucky football. A lot of people love this guy. The one thing everybody says is he's a man's man. He's the reason if you meet anybody who played football in the 90s, when you meet them, most people have the same perception about all of them. Gentlemen, look you in your eyes. They give you their word. They stand behind it. I know there's so many good things you say about the guy, but the other part is I'm not sure if he knows how many people are showing up to hash up the old times to find out, exactly why did people have Dawn Patrol.
Right.
Why I didn't get to start, coach.
Right.
Why did you bench me, coach? I mean, all the good questions, man. So I think it's going to be an interesting conversation. And
all right,
I'm curious.
With no further ado, let me add him on since we have not seen him in a while. But let me add him on. Coach Curry, how you doing?
I'm fine. Am I audible?
You are audible, Coach. I haven't been this nervous since 1997. I actually shaved, Coach. I was 10 minutes early because I know you say you're 5 minutes early, you're 5 minutes late. We actually started on time. I dressed my shirt is tucked in. I took a shower, did it all, Coach.
Hey,
you
Coach,
look great, man. I'm so glad to see you.
Yes, sir.
Coach, we just want to let you know, man, I appreciate you for being on as well. There's a lot of other guys that's looking forward to talking to you and seeing you. I just want to give you a heads up. A lot of these guys haven't aged as well as you have. It's not your fault. It's not your fault if you don't recognize some of these guys.
And I'm gonna add him in, Coach. I'm gonna say this, Coach. And you should give some of these guys Dawn Patrol because they were not on time. So I still hold that timeliness dear to my heart. So some of these guys are gonna need to get punished.
If I'm started handing out Dawn Patrols, somebody would kick my butt. That'd be the first thing that would happen. I'm just thrilled that you guys remember my name.
Oh, of course. Remember your name. Come on, man. With all the Wildcat runs.
Van Hiles story.
What's that, Coach?
Did I get to?
Yeah, Coach. We're gonna let everybody introduce themselves. Like I said, some people haven't aged as well, but after we get through introducing, we're gonna let you address the guys and tell all the stories you like to tell. I'm curious to hear some more of them. It's been some years.
I want to hear stories. I only want to tell one Van Hiles story.
Oh no! See now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, Coach, and now you just ruined it. God, you just ruined it.
It's a good story. It's not bad.
I know, but see, I'm gonna just start off before everybody starts. See, Coach, a lot of these players on the team, and I don't know why they came up with this, and in particular, thought that I was your favorite, and I'm like, I'm not your favorite. Your favorite is probably Bubba, but
here we go.
See now you just ruined it.
Already, man. That's a close call. Okay, I'm starting that already.
Yeah,
man.
see, so.
Hey,
Oh,
no,
all right, BJ,
my favorite.
start it off, man.
Who started off?
BJ.
Hey, Coach Brian Johnson. Good to see you. Great
Hello,
to catch.
Brian.
I hope you're doing well. And we all know Jimmy Carter was the favorite on the kicker side.
There you go. There you.
What I'd like you to do, no kidding, Brian and others, when you come on, tell me what you're doing now with your lives. And there's Reggie.
Yes.
I think that's
So I'm
Reggie, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm back in West Virginia, and my brother and I have an insurance agency here. And, I've got 2 little boys, 5 and 2, and just living life, Coach. Having things are well, and I think about you guys often. So it's great to catch up with everyone.
Well, I think I told you guys almost every day that your teammates would end up being the best friends you ever had, and it's the truth.
There's no question. I feel very blessed to have been a part of that family, and I have a lot of fond memories and lifelong friends and brothers. So, I talk oftentimes. I do play-by-play for my radio here at my high school, and I tell a lot of Coach Curry stories and just how important you were to me in my life and what an impact you left on my life, and I'm very appreciative for that.
Well, be careful of those stories. You can get in trouble with those things. Thank you. That thrills me that you're comfortable doing that.
And before Thad comes on, Coach,
Harold.
you said friends. Ant isn't my friend, though. I'm just going to put that out there.
Get out of here.
I wouldn't be my friend either, man.
I'm your friend, A-White. Always.
You know that. Go ahead. All right,
Thad.
Thad, go ahead.
Coach Thad Corbin. I'm in Nashville. Been here. Well, I've got a wife and an 18-month-old daughter. Van and I were laughing about it. I decided, it was finally time. I guess I matured and grew up and needed to procreate or recreate. But it's been a wild 18 months. But she's healthy. It's great. Couldn't be better.
And where are you?
In Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting place, isn't it?
It is lively right now for sure. Not as lively as things going on in Atlanta, but it.
No, well, we've got a terrible situation here, and it's our fault. It's nobody's fault but the white population. But I hope we don't have to spend a lot of time on that crap. But
well, I'm gonna tell you, Coach,
we got a lot of work to do. A lot of communities do.
Yeah, for sure.
That is being modest, Coach. That is being modest. That is a high roller. I seen him on a yacht, on a boat in his trips. He's being very modest.
Stop.
Thad's got a yacht?
No, Coach. Thad does not have a yacht. I took a picture on a boat when he was dating his wife at the time. And I needed to impress her because I was playing, I outkicked my coverage. I was playing so far above my head. And we had taken a vacation, and we took a lovely picture on a yacht or a boat. And, that's what Van is.
It got out, didn't it?
Yeah, Coach.
Did you actually purchase the boat?
No.
Yes, he did.
I purchased the picture. I purchased the picture, but no, did not purchase the boat. And
let me give you a little advice. The 2 best days of your life are the day you buy a boat and the day you get rid of that boat. The 2 best days of your life.
It is one of the worst depreciating assets on the planet.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're. That's a wonderful story. I see Dante has joined us.
Coach, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Lee?
How you doing, Dante?
How are you, Coach?
I'm fine. I think I don't want to take this away from Van. Van, you do the order of who talks when.
Okay, Coach.
Why you giving? Hey, you shouldn't give him no kind of control.
See, Coach. That's why they don't like me, Coach.
Consistent opinion on
favorite.
I don't know why. I don't know what I did to y'all.
You gave it to A. White.
I don't know. All right, Lee.
What's up, Coach? Lee Wesley here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Cool, Coach. Good to see you. It's been a long time. I live in Atlanta now. I moved here in 2019. I'm an actor. I'm a writer, and I became a father in 2019. And,
Wonderful.
Congratulations.
and thank you. He's in France, but he's still here. And he's good. But that's another.
What do you write, Lee?
I'm writing a screenplay right now, and it's my 10th rewrite of the screenplay. About 7-8 years ago, I made a short film called Hood Brothers, and it ended up winning a few awards. And so I wanted to do a better job and do the short film more justice. So I wrote a screenplay called Hood, and a lot of people continue to ask me about it. And so I never wanted to do anything with the screenplay, but since people continue to ask me about it, I've just continued to work it, tighten it up, and hopefully by the end of this year we can get this thing made. So we'll see.
Well, congratulations. I'm married to a writer, and she's obsessed. Once she starts writing, it's upset. The only word I can think of is obsessive. I just have to shut the door and get out of the way. So have that concentration that you can do it.
Oh yes, you need to focus.
Well, good for you.
Cool, thanks.
George,
it's Harold. Bubba.
Oh, hey. What's going on, guys? Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Hello, Harold. How you doing?
I'm doing well. So I'm still in Lexington, Coach, but going back to Van's point at the beginning of this this podcast here, Van, I keep in touch with Coach, so I might be his favorite. I just might be his favorite because I may be one of the few on here that actually keep in touch with him.
Oh, so you're gonna pull that card? Okay, all right.
There you go.
He does.
So yeah, I try to make a point to. I try to make a point to check on Coach every now and then. So, yeah,
hey, all right.
Hey,
bragging.
I just say it's what it is. But Coach, it's great to see you as always.
It's great to see you, Harold. And we had a function down here a few years ago. Actually, now it's been 8 years. But Harold showed up for that function for a Georgia State thing. I've never forgotten that. And George Harris has showed up here a couple of times. And but honestly, all you guys are priceless to me. I remember you for so many wonderful things, but especially that last part of the time that we were together. We can talk about that in a little while, but let's just keep on going, Van, so we get around to everybody.
Andy Britt.
Hey, Coach. How are you doing?
Hello, Andy.
It's good to see you.
You haven't changed at all. You look like a freshman.
Changed a little bit. Coach, I'm living in Minnesota right now. Been here for about a year and a half. After living in North Carolina for about 18 years, running a small business here in Minnesota. Got a daughter who's 17 and a son who's 15, and just enjoying things. I'm really glad to be on here and see everybody, see all my former teammates on here as well. Everybody's looking really good.
Well, now that you mentioned that, I didn't think about how emotional it would be to see each guy's face, but it is. It's just it's wonderful. Some of you are better looking than others, but then that's always the case.
That is true.
No, I'm just kidding.
That is no, Coach. You are being honest. That's right.
Everybody looks great. We're not going to go there. Everybody looks great.
Dante.
What's up?
Dante, unmute and you can speak, sir.
All right, man, calm down.
See? Oh, you was on me earlier, though. You was on me, Tay,
I
earlier.
was.
And that, see?
You were right to take control of the reins, brother. It looks like A. White's getting ready to go into the ball game.
Right.
Man.
Coach, it's really awesome to see you, and I'm glad Van put this together, and him and Anthony and getting us together. We don't do this enough. We go our own separate ways and have our own separate lives, and this downtime has really gotten people together, which is really good on these Zoom meetings and different things like that. But I'm still here in Lexington. Got two boys. One's 23, and one will be 17 next year. Still with my wife that I married my senior year here in Lexington, and I'm a federal officer. Been federal officer for the last 20 years, so I can't complain about too much of anything. But I'm glad to see all you guys, and especially you, Coach. You still look good.
Hey, Coach.
Well, thank you. So
Coach,
do you.
He has two outstanding football players. I don't know where they got it from. His wife must have played flag football or something, because he has two outstanding athletes.
I mean, the 17, your youngest son, Dante, he's a 4-star kid now?
Yeah, he's a 4-star. He's going into his junior year this next year.
Yeah.
He's got 13, 14 really high Power 5 offers. So my other one's he's in his graduate year at Western. He's graduated already, and he's got one more year of eligibility, and hopefully he's playing safety there. So he got his speed after me.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. That was loud.
I'm sitting we're just gonna lie the whole time now.
You don't have to. You see, the good thing is you're socially distanced, Dante, so you don't have to take any hits. You don't have to hit anybody.
That's correct. Yeah.
He wasn't going to coach. Don't worry.
Yeah.
What position does your son play that's coming up to be a junior?
He plays wide receiver.
That's all his wife, Coach, because Dante had no hands.
Hey, Coach, he's kind of like Chad with his hands.
Oh.
Chad had hands.
Yeah, Chad had hands.
Chad did have hands.
For sure. All right, Mark.
See, I can't remember who had hands except for the wide receivers. Okay, well that sounds great. Well, I know he'll have a great experience, and he has a good selection of schools. Hopefully, we'll be playing, if not this year, sometime. That's another question I want to. After we get everybody introduced, I want to talk about how could we play football this year with what we know and what we don't know. But let's go on, Van. Let's get everybody introduced and talk about what they've been doing.
All right, Reg.
All right, fellas, how's everybody doing?
What's up, Reg?
I know some of you guys I haven't been keeping in contact with, but a few of you guys we've always remained in contact. I have actually kept in pretty good contact with Coach Curry.
Yeah.
Coach Curry was I am so blessed because I had Coach Rush in California. Then I went to Coach Curry. And then I had Coach Dungy in the league.
Wow.
I was blessed to have great men who taught us how to become men. And, just so much beyond just the game of football. And I really, really appreciate that, Coach. And you might not know this, but I hated my time at Kentucky. But I want to say that I love and respect you for the man that you are. And you made the experience better than what I actually went through. So I appreciate that part of it. I'm living here in Houston area. I have a 20-year-old daughter and I'm an entrepreneur and also a coach and a mentor. So, you know, some of the things that I picked up from you and the other coaches that I mentioned, I'm using those things to help the kids that's in my community now.
Well, thank you. You humble me enormously. And I'm sorry that the experience wasn't better there, but I love the way you stayed in touch, and I love what you're doing. And if you've got a 20-year-old daughter, you learned all about yourself, because those females will look you in the eye about age 17 and tell you the truth. And they don't stop. My daughter's 52. She keeps right on telling me the truth about me. It's painful, but it's great to have a young lady like that.
Yes, sir.
All right, G. Harris. Oh, what's G. Harris? All right, G. Harris.
I'm here.
All right, brother.
You guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's great to see all these faces. And Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. You've grown a very sophisticated appendage there since I last saw you.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
They call it. I got the distinguished look now.
My father would say extinguished. But I agree with you. When I first saw it, I thought that's distinguished. Now, George, for everybody's information, George has been through Atlanta a bunch of times. He's stayed with us, and he's come and actually talked to our Georgia State team a time or two. And we just got lucky because of his travel schedule with his business. And so George and I have stayed in touch, and he is a fascinating, wonderful guy. I know you know that.
Nah, Coach, you not telling the truth, but all right.
I knew we had a chance with George because he never could tell me a lie. He would beat somebody up in the lunchroom, but he would come straight to my office and say, I just had a fist fight in the lunchroom, and we tore up the lunchroom. I didn't have to hear it from the dean or anybody. I heard it straight from George. So I said, okay, go back and clean up the lunchroom and apologize to the lady.
That is George.
2 hours later, he's back. He said, I cleaned it up and I apologized to the lady. And then one day he said, I really need to see you, Coach. And I said, okay, come on. We made an appointment. He sat down and he said, I just want you to know I'd rather be at UCLA than here. I said, hell, I'd rather be at UCLA. We're not at UCLA. But he always told me the truth, even painful. So anyhow, we've stuck together and gotten more of a chance to see him than some of the other guys. I've seen Harold quite a bit, going to Lexington with him coming here. And it's just, I can't tell you what it means to me for you guys to do something like we're doing tonight, and for you guys to stay in touch, however you choose to stay in touch, whichever is convenient for you. But let's keep going, Van.
All right, War. Stu.
What's up, guys?
Man,
what we doing?
Big timer.
Coach.
I wish.
Coach, hi.
Yeah, Anwar is good about staying in touch too. Anwar's in touch periodically.
Yes, sir. I try to. You know, I hang out with Anthony, man. I don't have too many friends.
That is true.
I'll bet. I don't think you'd say that if it were true.
Coach, it's slim pickings, Coach. Man, Anthony's my guy, Coach. He's my go-to.
He's the last person on the totem pole, Coach. So if he's saying we're Ant, he's been going through a list and ended up with Ant.
There what you need. That's all. There you need.
Hey, well, Coach, I will be honest here. I was curious if A. White was going to be in the group, because the last time, I saw you with Coach, he was walking off the field. A. White was going to be here or not. I'm not going to lie to you. When I got on, I was happy to see him because I wasn't sure. I was like, man, Coach Curry not going to let him back in this group. No.
See, Ant, it wasn't me. I didn't bring it up. It wasn't me. All right, Stu.
It's all good. You know, it's all good. Long time ago, man. We was young.
Get him, Lee. Get him.
I think I blocked that out of my memory. That's not coming back.
I can't get it out of my memory, Coach. I can see it. I'm like, is he doing that? Oh, he doing it.
I'm sorry, Stu. We kind of hijacked your time.
Hey, I love it, man. Hey, anytime we can get Anthony, let's get him, man. he gonna start talking that Hal Mummy shit in a minute. I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Coming out on here.
Hey, I'm with you on that one, Stu.
No doubt.
Coming out hot.
Hey, it is not me. It's not me, Ant. It's not me. I've been good. All right, Mark.
Screen people better next time. Screen yes next time.
Exactly. Hey, look, guy. Hey, look. Really appreciate you, Van and Anthony, man, getting this together for sure. You know, you guys know I'm excited to be here. Very excited. You know, Coach Kerr, you and Coach Smith and Coach Arch, I still keep in contact with you three. And I want you guys to know, look, the door is open for you guys to come back. Anytime you guys want to come back, man, look, y'all come back because we help build what's going on here now. And so when you come back and you look at the campus and you look at the new facilities and stuff, we did that, right? We did that and we started that. We just as big as a part of this than anybody else, man. So look, anytime you guys are ready to come back, contact me, man. My door is always open for sure.
Well, I really appreciate that, and I'll remember that. And I've been back a couple of times, and that was with ESPN, though, and that wouldn't be the same. I'd love to come back, and if I get a chance, I may just do that, depending on how everything with the virus and the coronavirus works out.
Right.
No doubt.
Okay, Mark.
I remember when Anwar came on campus and I had to wipe his nose for him.
Oh.
See, that's wrong, man. See, that's.
Oh.
Hey, hold.
I don't know about that now.
Let's keep it clean for one more, and then the gloves off. All right, Mark.
Good to see you, Coach. I can't tell you how good it is to see you and just how important you were to me and just everywhere we've been, so many of my roots come back to what you've done and what you taught. Things well, we're in Kansas City. I'm coaching NAIA football. Got 3 kids, 22, 21, and 19. Got a great wife and a couple of good dogs. And I got a boat, and it's freaking a hole of money. Ton of money.
Were you on earlier when I made my statement about the first day you get the boat? Yeah, well, you'll find out.
Yes, sir.
Just enjoy it while you got it.
We try to as much as we can when it's not in the shop.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. What's that Van Howell story?
Van Howell's the very first play of the very first game.
Oh no! See.
How many lectures, men, did we have about dancing and demonstrating and doing whatever the stuff was that you guys love to do after a big play? How many times did we go over how we are not going to do that? We're going to act like we've been here before and that we expect to make big plays, and we're not so excited that we waste a bunch of energy. Do you remember anything about all of that? Well, Van was such a natural, great player, and I mean that sincerely. He buzzes down on the first kickoff and nails the guy about the 15-yard line, I think. Immediately goes into a gyration, and I mean he's all over the end zone, dancing for all 4 stands in every direction. I just said, get his ass to me. But I turned, listen, the coaches were going to go get him. They didn't have to go get him. He was on a dead sprint straight at me. He sprints straight up to me, looks me right in the face with all that sincerity and youth, and says, "Coach, I cannot believe I did that. I'll never do it again, I promise." I guess I watched too many NFL games or something.
That's awesome.
That was the fastest thinking I've ever seen in my life. To come up with that bullshit.
Thank you.
What did you
Yes,
say
that
to
made
him,
it
Coach? What did you
okay.
say after that?
What did I say?
Yeah, what did you say to him after that?
I said, "Go sit down over there on the bench." But we had to get him back in. He was too good, and he knew that. I think he'd already figured that out.
Oh my goodness. Oh man.
But here, let me just say what I want to make sure I get said to each of you. Obviously, our time together didn't end the way I wanted it to. But I'll tell you this, what you guys did the last 4 weeks of that season, all you had to do was pack it in and take it easy and finish the string. But that's not what you did. Every single one of you made a pledge to bust it, to play your guts out. And we finished with our heads high, playing Kentucky Wildcat football. And I'll never forget those moments, all of that time. As difficult as it was for all of us, I hope that was a building block for each of you for the tough times that you've already endured and the tough times to come. This is one of them right now. And I trust for all of us who are Caucasian that we will have learned something in the last couple of months about what our African American brothers have been going through that we couldn't have possibly understood before. We should have, but we didn't. We just didn't. And I don't mean that we have to run out and handle it in a particular way, but we've got to be active in our communities and with our law enforcement officers, and we've got to make this change, and we got to do it in this generation. So that's my challenge to each of us, all of us, that we handle this potentially deadly situation for our country in a way so that we don't come unglued, because the leadership's not going to do it. I've never seen anything like what we're going through, but I take part of the responsibility, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life working on making a change. And what I tried to do with each of you guys was to love you so that you knew that those demands we put on you were coming from the right place. And I hope we were successful in that. But I am so proud of each of you and your families and the things that you're doing and your kind remarks. And I will never forget you, and I'll never forget this evening. And I hope somehow, maybe over the years, I'll get a chance to visit with each one of you from time to time.
For sure, Coach. I got our boy Craig Yeast, best receiver in UK history, is joining the line. What's up, Yeast?
Hey,
what's up, fellas?
Before you go, Yeast, I want to point out to Coach that when he watches this back, and even when he looks at the screen, these people are on here by the order they came. So the last ones are the late ones, Coach.
Look, it's certainly not Craig Yeast. He wouldn't be last.
Craig Yeast. Coach Curry, how you doing, man? I love you.
Well, I love you too, Craig.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm
happy
late.
to see you first or last.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm late because, like some of these other guys, I'm trying to follow in your footsteps, Coach, and actually do some coaching. So I was in a meeting with my players trying to hurry up and get off. So I'm actually working here. You know what I'm saying?
So we
I'm
got
working.
so we got excuses now.
That's an excuse, Coach.
It's not an
We,
excuse.
we want
I knew
results.
Craig. Whoa,
It's not an
whoa.
excuse.
Coach,
Okay, let him
we
let him
want
talk.
results, not excuses.
Let him talk. Where are you coaching now, Craig?
I am now the head coach at Kentucky Wesleyan College down here in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Good.
Division II. So going into my second year.
Well, there's no manual for head coach. Every day is an adventure, and every day there's another crisis. But if I can ever help, I made every mistake in the book, so if you give me a call, and I'll at least pitch in the best I can. But I'll sure be pulling for you.
I need all the advice I can get, Coach. I have no clue what I'm doing. Hey, it's like rolling dice, baby. You know, you roll it, and hopefully you hit 7. You get lucky.
What you do is you just keep rolling, though, and you act like you know what you're doing.
That's right. That's right.
Craig,
As long
man,
as you love those
some of
guys
these
and you're hard on them.
Craig, you
What's
got to
that?
catch Texas guys.
Man, y'all too far away, man. We ain't got that kind of
They
budget.
wouldn't-
We ain't got the Texas budget, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't like Anwar now down here. They got the national recruiting base. Oh,
We'll throw you a couple dollars.
Hey, Dante coaching high school. They got a national recruiting base too.
Hey,
That
Craig,
might be better than ours.
Hey, Coach Curry, you said there's not a manual for coaching. Hey, Craig wouldn't follow it anyway.
That's a lie. Hey, I can tell you this: the good Lord has changed my heart. He has changed me. I am not the same way that I used to be. I actually do the stuff that I'm supposed to do now. I'm telling you, I do. Everything that I'm supposed to do. Well, 90% of the
that's because Tori's on your behind.
Ooh.
She's more than on my behind. You're right.
Hey,
I got
Craig.
myself a great woman. I can tell you
Hey,
that.
Craig, where's your son go to college at?
My son
See,
goes to
see,
the
Ant.
University of
Ant,
Louisville.
come on, man.
Wait. Okay, stop. I'm gonna stop every single one of you right now. And here's why I'm gonna stop you.
Oh, Craig.
I'm gonna stop you. First of all, we're supposed to support our children, right, to go anywhere and everywhere that they want to go. I want to make sure that you guys all understand that he was committed to the University of Kentucky first. So you can do whatever you can do, whatever, and say whatever you want to say. I love the University of Kentucky. I bleed blue.
And we
I
love
talk
you.
shit to him all the time.
Number love, bro.
Dante, where your son going?
Things change, don't they, Craig?
Say it again.
Dante, where your son
Yeah,
going?
Dante, where your son going?
Yeah, that's a good question, Anwar.
Wait a minute. Your first son, where'd your first son go?
He's at Western.
Okay.
Kentucky,
All right. Okay.
Kentucky acted crazy.
Well, they're not acting crazy for your second one.
For the second one.
They getting that one right.
Yeah, so
Hey, Dante, if he comes here, I get your haircut every week.
Hey, I still got that tissue from wiping your nose when you came in, man.
Hey, is Lee
Coach,
still making movies?
Yes, sir, man. Absolutely. Coach, I just wanted to say there's a lot of coaches in this group. I coached for 1 year after I graduated Kentucky at Drake University, and I realized that is not what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? I loved it, but it wasn't. I don't know how many of us in the group right now was around after you left, but when the new group came in is when I really understood how valuable you were to me and a lot of other people who played for you. And I've taken a lot of those principles that you taught us about how to be a man, how to work hard, how to be responsible and accountable. I've taken those principles in everything that I've done throughout life, and I'm certain a lot of people in this group have. And it's unfortunate that some of us in this group because whenever we was pulling the decal off the helmet, I was young and I was like, yeah, we doing it in solidarity. But the older guys, Van and Harold and a few guys, we were following their lead. Right. But it wasn't until later where we was like, oh man. And some people in this group had, great careers after you left. But I'm just saying, I still believe that you taught us so much and gave us so much value that it's priceless. And I just want to say thank you and for that. And being in Atlanta now, I'm going to do better to keep in touch with you as well.
Thank you, Lee.
So,
thank you, Lee.
That's good.
I can't tell you how much that means to me.
I don't know if you guys have, most of you probably have, but if you haven't, and I think it's timely right now, Coach. You were just talking about the things going on around the country, right now, that we all can kind of try to, do a better job and do our part and take action. But if you guys have not picked it up, Coach, I think your book is more timely now than it's ever been. If you guys are not familiar with this book, it's 10 Men You Meet in the Huddle and life lessons from football. Mm-hmm. And if you think about just this panel right here, just think about inside the locker room, we broke so many barriers. Not just us, but athletics and especially football in general. We broke so many barriers, and Coach, I think that book is so valuable that how you talk about your experiences coming up in the South and relationships you were able to build essentially through football and the brotherhood you built through football. And it didn't matter, East Coast, West Coast, North, South, different heritage, different cultures, different race. It's more, like I said, it's more timely now than ever. And I encourage you guys, if you don't have it, or if you do have it and you haven't referenced it, go pick that book up and read through those chapters and what Coach talks about in those relationships. And I refer back often.
Go ahead, Harold. I mean, PR firm, Harold.
Yeah, no.
Gotta mute everybody.
I got some feedback down there.
I got it. I think it was G. Go ahead, Harold.
There we go. What's the last thing you heard? Did I get cut off?
Man, hey, speak your truth, Harold. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I
can't hear anything, guys.
What'd you say, George?
Hold on, George.
Man, just mute George.
All right, Harold, finish.
Yeah. So at any rate, my point is, 10 Men You Meet in the Huddle, or written by Coach Curry. If you don't have it, get it. If you have it, open it and really let it speak to you about what Coach referenced earlier and what we're experiencing in the country today and how we can. I feel like I can be a resource to other people just from what I've learned through football and the brotherhood I've formed with you guys from all races, creeds, colors, religions, etc. So get the book. If you don't have it, get the book.
I appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Harold. Let me just offer this. If we can think of Van, I'll give you this responsibility. I'm serious now. To get my email to anybody that wants a copy of that book, and you email me. Well, I'll just give you my email now. You can write it down. Has everybody got a?
No, Coach. There's 500,000 people watching.
Yeah, the whole college will have it.
I got your email, Coach. I got it.
All right, get the email from Van and email me, and I will give you a copy and I'll personalize it to you.
Hey, everybody! $5 Cash App, $5 Cash App, and I'll send it to you.
Who put Van? Can I say something real quick? because you know, Coach Curry, like I said, I love you, man, and I think what Lee Wesley said, which was he sounded very, very highly intelligent. It's not the Lee Wesley that I went to school with. But you know, I think what he says is really spot on, and I look back on all the lessons and everything that you preach to us on a consistent basis, and like we do this thing. What I do with our football team, we have 7 F's for success. There's faith, family, fundamentals, fast, fight, finish, fun. But I really, really focus on the faith, family, and the fundamental part. And even though you didn't quite say it that way, I believe that comes directly from the values that you taught us. Because I really stress for our young men and all of my coaches to love God. That's the number one thing. And I really do everything that I can to preach and stress the importance of just being in a family environment, just loving one another, caring for one another, doing for one another, because that is your brother. No matter what that situation is, I have your back. I learned that from you. And the fundamentals, the other part of that is, you know, I really focus on, I want our guys to graduate. I used to hear you say that all the time. I want you guys to graduate because I love you. It's important. That was one of the things you always said. It's important. And I want them to do right in the community. I want them to be better teammates and athletes than I was when I was a football player, because I think those things are important, because when those young men go out into the world, they become husbands and fathers, just like we are right now. And we want them to be excellent men. We don't want them to be young men. We don't want them to be grown males. We want them to be good men. And that's what we stress in our program. And I think that's something that, like Lee said, that's what you gave us. And I don't take anything away from the coaching staff that we had before, but it wasn't the same. And those values, those first 3 values, the faith, the family, and the fundamentals, that's Bill Curry all day long. And I appreciate you for that, Coach, because that's how I'm trying to build my program. I don't think you can build a program any other way. So that's directly from you. And I just want to say I appreciate it. And I'm sorry that I was on here late. So I just want to make sure I got that in.
Well, I'm glad you were in a team meeting, and I'm glad you were late because of where you were. And the young men, the student athletes that play for you are doubly blessed, because you obviously got the message. And obviously I was blessed to have great coaches and teammates. Willie Davis and John Mackey took me aside when they didn't have anything to gain from loving a stupid white kid from College Park, Georgia, who had grown up in a racist culture. They had nothing to gain by caring about me, but they did. And I just tried to pass along what was given to me. In fact, I had no choice but to do that. And for you guys for each of you to have absorbed what really matters from our sport is justification for my life. And I already loved you, whether you got it or not. But I love you, and I'm grateful for this moment. And thank you for making this happen. And Craig, thank you for those. You're right. There's some folks that are growing up, say things a little bit better than you used to.
Coach, I can tell you personally about Craig and about you. I never would have seen the field if it wasn't for you taking a chance, and if it wasn't for Craig whooping my butt every single day but still helping me. Every single day, he wore me out. You even picked me up one day, Coach, and drove me from Commonwealth Stadium, and that's exactly what you preached. How you took care of some goofy little walk-on and how Craig brought me along. that was the program. That was everything. That was
what it should
been and what it was. I mean, that's everything you preach. It's just phenomenal.
Well, thank you. That's what we do for each other, isn't it? Somebody did it for me, and I didn't have any choice to pass it on.
Coach, I remember a time stands out very clear in my mind that just signifies who you are. My junior year, right after we had played Louisville, I lost my cousin. He passed away in a four-wheeler accident. And I remember going to your office that Sunday morning after the Louisville game, and try not to get emotional here, but I just remember the way you handled that with me, with the grace you handled that, and the welcoming back. I came back on Wednesday, and you had the rule, if you don't practice Wednesday, you don't play Saturday. And you put it up for a vote, in front of everybody, and everybody voted for me to go ahead and kick against Cincinnati that week. And that did a lot for my healing, dealing with the loss of him. And he was like a brother to me growing up. So it was really tough. There were 2 years separated us. But the grace and the love that you showed me in a really dark moment in my life has stuck with me, now at 45 years old, how to treat people. And, every single guy that's on this call right now treated me like I was their brother. And that was a culture that you built. And, I see George, and George and I used to joke in the locker room a lot, a California kid and a West Virginia kid. We would have never met up any other way, and Craig and Lee and Dante and Van and just all you guys, man, Mark, Andy. It was such a wonderful time in my life, and now I get to go back and go to games, and I remember all those wonderful times. We didn't win as many games as we wanted to, and that's the one thing that I would change if I could, but I wouldn't have wanted to play for anyone else at any other school with any other teammates. I would never change that. I mean, I love you guys, man, and you're always going to be my brothers. And Coach Curry was really the thing that held us all together. And Van and I have talked about that in the past. And you're an amazing example of what we need to be, Coach. And I love you, and I appreciate you for that.
You're always a good man.
Yeah, he was. Hey, I'm sorry because I'm about to step on you. I'll just say this.
Amen.
In 97, 96, playing Indiana, raining, 0-0. And my man BJ hasn't kicked since the first quarter. And for him to come on the field and nail that field goal to win that game 3-0, that said enough for me, BJ. That said enough for me. All right, Coach,
Look,
I'm sorry.
I had no business being a Division I kicker. And Coach Curry was a big reason for me doing that, and you guys supporting me. And, that was I'm always grateful. I will always be grateful to you guys. And I look forward to telling my boys the stories, and they're going to get sick of them. They're young right now, but those kicks are going to get longer. And, they're going to get worse as the years.
Hey,
right.
Nothing wrong with a little embellishment.
Nothing wrong with it.
Right.
Hey, Georgia, I see you keep unmuting your mic, man, and they keep getting you echo. You got something.
Well, I think that there's I think Van keeps cutting my mic on mute. So
no, I'm muting you, and then
I want to say some things too.
I'm trying to mute you, and Anthony's unmuting you. So we both just cancel each other.
I don't control that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are they trying to silence you, George? Why are they trying to silence you?
Hey,
Well,
George already know. George already know how I am. Cut you off.
Yeah. Well, this is an important time, man. I some of you guys who I've kept in touch with, and I think I do a better job than most keeping in touch with everybody, because You know, I make sure I try to reach out to everybody if they're responsive. You know, Coach Curry, you know, many years ago, I think we after the Kentucky experience, I was in London playing at the NFL Europe League, and I thought about Coach Curry, and I dropped him a postcard. And everywhere I went from that point, I just wanted to make sure I stayed connected to this man because, you know, there's a lot of people that'll bullshit you throughout our lives. We all had those agents and those people that we meet that want to talk to you about this investment and that investment. And Coach Curry was always one that was very real and very true, man. And, you know, you're an important person to me, Coach. You know, I've stayed connected to you, and you and your wife have been involved at pretty much every stage of my life. And it's made the difference. It's really made the difference. So I wish you could run for president. Then we can get this lunatic the hell out of there and start moving forward again.
Thank you, George. I would also like to get this lunatic out of there, but I think it's a little late for me to do this. And George has been very, very faithful. He has stayed in touch. That postcard said the following: Coach, I'm in NFL Europe, having the time of my life. I led the league in kickoff returns, and I've enjoyed football so much. I'm going to go back and get my diploma in December because I promised you I would. And oh, by the way, I'm going to Israel, and I need you to call this number, collect, and tell me what to do while I'm in the Holy Land to straighten out my spiritual life. I swear. Would you remember that?
True. That's awesome.
And I called him, and I believe the man did it. I think he did all of the above. He kept his word, and all of you have kept your word. You look around this group. This is a wonderful group of men right here. And it's not because of me. It's what you brought to the program. You brought yourselves and your hearts and your immature effort to our team. And our team gave back to you. Each other gave to you. And I was privileged to be there and help direct that in my imperfect way. But God knows this is a great moment in my life. And I just, Van, for putting this together, I'm eternally grateful. Each one of you guys is crucial to me. I love you so very much. And I'll never forget this. I'll never forget you.
Yeah, we will definitely never forget you, Coach. Even with the dawn patrols and the 6 o'clock workouts and the Wildcat run. No, Craig, you needed dawn patrol.
I never did dawn patrol. I never had it. But
No,
we
well.
do dawn patrol here.
Well, you needed it.
Dawn patrol. Thank you, Coach Curry.
Man, I'm still scared of that Wildcat run.
Man, that Wildcat run, I don't know.
It wouldn't have
Coach
done
Brown
any.
is the one that does dawn patrol here. He loves it.
It wouldn't have done any good to put Craig Yeast. If you put Craig Yeast in dawn patrol, he enjoyed running. It wasn't even hard for him to run. He would have just had a ball out there, and everybody else would have suffered.
I never had it, Coach.
I never knew what fast was until I was warming up next to Craig Yeast. Took off. I was in the dirt like this.
George Mathis just popped in real late.
Hey, Coach, we got a guy who really needs to get dawn patrol since he just popped in at 58 minutes to the broadcast. What's up, Massey?
What's up, man?
Yes.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Man, we well, man. We well.
Come on, George. If you're 10 minutes, not 10 minutes early, you're late.
Right.
Man, I'm in Florida, man.
He was late. He was early for the next meeting.
Right. He's early for the next workout group.
Hey, Van.
Yeah.
You was talking about dawn patrol and the Wildcat run?
Yeah.
What's up, Craig Yeast?
What's up, Big Z? So here at Kentucky Wesleyan, we do dawn patrol.
Uh-huh.
Every place that I've been, I've just changed the name Now it's the Panther run.
Oh.
Wildcat run to the Panther. Oh, we run the Wildcat run. We run all of that. We do it all.
Yeah, man.
Yes, indeed.
That will definitely get them right. That will definitely get them right. That Wildcat run, man. All I can say is there's two guys who I think should have ran two of them when we was there, and that's Reggie Russ and Tyler Savinsky, because it didn't bother them at all. Now them two should have ran two, and they should have taken one off of Mark Jacobs and Massey.
I think you just put two different kickers' names together.
Oh, did I?
No.
Brian Savinsky. My bad. Brian Savinsky. Wow, T-Bone.
I tried to pay Tyler to run Wildcat Run for me, Van.
What's that?
Brian, you
I
so
tried to
mad.
pay the
Beating my
man to
time.
So I'm looking at Van, Anwar. I think George, you might have still been here. Harold. I know Lee was here.
Yep.
Reggie, I'm not sure. I know Anthony was here. Y'all remember?
Whoa, Yeast. Whoa. Anthony wasn't here.
Listen.
Anthony wasn't here. Okay, go ahead, Yeast.
Around.
Y'all remember us being in camp? Like the first or second day of camp, our freshman year, and we practiced 2 a day, and then after the 2 a day, we ran the Wildcat Run. Y'all remember?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Hold on, Yeast. See, y'all young boys. While we got a few more minutes left, y'all young boys don't remember, and Coach Curry's not gonna remember either. Remember when we used to have 25 periods? Anybody remember that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so
yes,
I had 25 periods. Coach took us all the way, I think, to period 22. and we were not practicing well. He made us go back in the locker room, take our clothes off, put them back on, and start at zero. I'm not gonna say the words that were used after doing that practice, but
I don't think you could do that today.
No, you can't do that.
Coach. hey, Coach. Do you remember we had so many fights amongst us on the field that you would stop practice and make us box and start practice over?
Yeah, we needed to see the boxing match, and we'd already blown practice time, so we just started. Why not?
Had the gloves and everything.
You guys didn't want to be
the gloves out.
You wanted to be boxers, so we practiced that for a while. Then we'd see if you wanted to try it again.
Who got that Coach Curry put in the full Nelson? That was somebody was fighting.
That was Marcus Cross. Marcus Cross.
That's when he kicked me in the balls.
Yeah. No, he had James Tucker.
He had James Tucker. That's exactly right.
He was bashing James' face.
Yep.
Couldn't let it happen.
I want to tell this story.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Craig was talking about the faith family fundamentals. I think, Coach, it was faith family football, right? This story comes from Chris Ford. And we had I think that last year we had the box, right?
Yes.
Box, right?
Yes.
So Chris Ford had to do a weekend in the box. But his family was coming up from Florida the same weekend to visit him. And, Chris Ford's Auntie June and Grandma, those were his people, They driving up 9.5 hours to see him. And so Coach Curry, Chris tells me the story that he came and talked to you at your office. And he asked you if he could do the box another weekend because his family was coming in town. And he said that you told him, no, you got the box this weekend, you go to the box. So he said he left the office, he stopped, thought for a second, went back in. He said, well, Coach, you know how you always tell us faith, family, and he said, you go, don't you ever use my words again. I said, I feel sorry for your grandmother. And I think you doubled his punishment. You gave him that weekend to see his family, but you doubled his punishment because of that. But it was a hilarious story.
That's C4, boy. That is C4.
You know, you told us.
Well, I'd
big
like to
family
apologize for that if I did that.
No, Coach, he deserved it. I'm telling you. I remember that. He deserved it. He should not have been out the box. No. It was his coach. It's his fault that he did what he did the week of his parents coming. No. That's on him.
Well, realistically, for those of you that are coaching, or if you got kids, if you let one guy off, then what's going to happen the next weekend?
Exactly.
You're right.
That's right.
Hey, I know all you guys remember. I don't know how Van remembers anything, but all the triple helmets that he had to wear.
Hey, I was covering your ass for missing assignments. That's why I was coming downhill so fast.
No.
Go ahead.
Oh man.
Hey, fellas, I appreciate it, man. We holding Coach long. It's 10 o'clock. So, hey, Coach, it was a crazy idea for me. I saw it, UK doing it with basketball. I'm like, hey, we need to get the guys together. I'm surprised that you even answered me. But I appreciate you, Coach, for everything you've done for all of us and for all the guys who are watching. Thank you for taking time out of your day and spending this hour with us, has been. And, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys, man.
Thank you for having me.
Anthony, thanks for pulling us together.
You're not has-beens, and you're the leadership of this country, and you're the best we got. And I know you'll help correct the situation we're in. And I got every confidence, and I love you with all my heart. And I'm grateful for this. And thank you, Van, and each and every one of you. And if you ever want to reach out, and you get your information to Van if you're interested in that book, and I'll get you one.
Hey, respect, y'all.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank
you, Coach.
Take care, man.
Love you, G. Harris.